You are likely to go through a phase of being stressed and stretched with your money at some point in your life. You can either go through that stress diligently and prosper through it at the end, or you can make hasty decisions and remain broke, right? You can repeat that cycle of perpetual brokenness, if you will. The reality is one way is going to get you, the diligence is going to get you where you want to go, and haste is going to keep you broke like 95% of Americans in the world. Hey, what's going on, cash flow hackers? It's Chris with Life 180, and for this video, I'm going to be talking to you about infinite banking and how it is based on biblical principles. Now, before I get into anything, I do want to say that the purpose of this video is to not shove Christianity in anybody's face at all. What I believe to be true is that regardless of your beliefs, your faith, there are underlying principles inside of the Bible that are universal truths. Now, you can find these truths in a lot of other places in life. I have no shame in telling you that I am a Christian, right? And so this is just where I get my information, and I'm sharing this with you. So regardless of where you stand with your opinions or belief on religion, I'm putting this video together really because there are concepts taught in the Bible around money that are universal truths. And once again, while they can be found in other places, I'm just sharing where I get them from, where I'm learning them from, and I think they're so important to be shared with people that just because we may have a difference in belief and faith, I didn't want you to miss out on the valuable information. So to get started, there are two passages in the Bible that relate best to why I believe utilizing infinite banking in your life makes sense, right? So the first one is Romans 13:8, and it warns us that let no debt remain outstanding, right? So the second passage is actually Proverbs 22:7, and that tells us that the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is the slave to the lender, right? So I often talk about the greatest reason that I love infinite banking is because it forces you to follow a specific set of rules with your money. And those rules that I talk about take those two passages to heart. Now, here's the reality. Americans are suffering from debt problems, period. The average American household is spending more money every month servicing debt than they're saving for their own future. Over the years, the marketing machines of the banks have understood human psychology and human behavior better than you could possibly imagine. In fact, banks know how much money they can make if they can convince you to live above your means, and that's why they do what they do. Now, they're constantly trying to separate you from your money to put it into their coffers, right? That banks, make no mistake about it, are private businesses, and they're trying to make money, and to do so, they are spending billions of dollars on marketing to accomplish this. In fact, there's no question that this is happening. They've actually done studies that show the correlation between the amount of money that we spend and the amount of TV we watch. The more you watch, the more you spend, and that goes hand in hand almost every time. Now, Proverbs 21:20 says that the wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. Another thing that I love about infinite banking is that it's a forced savings plan. And while many people shy away from utilizing whole life insurance and infinite banking because of the forced nature, of the structure that comes along with saving inside of a whole life insurance policy, the reality is that it's a lot more flexible, I think, than most people realize. And at the end of the day, it's just really, it's a good financial discipline. The reason I say that is because being diligent with your savings and having a plan that stresses you to put yourself in a better financial position sets you up to win, right? Think about it this way. Proverbs 21:5 says that the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. The reality is, you are likely to go through a phase of being stressed and stretched with your money at some point in your life. You can either go through that stress diligently and prosper through it at the end, or you can make hasty decisions and remain broke, right? You can repeat that cycle of perpetual brokenness, if you will. The reality is one way is going to get you, the diligence is going to get you where you want to go, and haste is going to keep you broke like 95% of Americans in the world. Now, there are financial talking heads out there that talk about life insurance as a need-based decision, right? The idea is that as soon as you can eliminate the expense of insurance, you should do it. But in 1 Timothy chapter 5, it says that we should provide for our households, right? Now, I'm a big believer that this is our responsibility, that it is our responsibility to leave the next generation more than what we have, more than what we came into this world with, right? So I'm not just talking about giving them more money, having more life insurance and whatever. I'm talking about financial education and stewardship, because when you use whole life insurance properly through the infinite banking system and you implement the infinite banking system in your life, you actually set up a plan to take care of your next generation on a guaranteed basis, all while implementing a system that you can take advantage of during your life. Here's the sad truth about the world we live in. There's a significant lack of financial education, literacy, and stewardship. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on this soapbox, but I don't think this is by accident. Now, I created Life 180 as a way to help people live intentionally for excellence and turn around their lives. That's what LIFE stands for, living intentionally for excellence. And the 180 is about turning the results in your life around. And the truth is, if you want to live the life that you want, you're probably going to need to grow as an individual. The old saying, what got you here isn't going to get you where you want to go, could not be more accurate in this instance, right? And by implementing infinite banking, it's going to force you to take a more active position in your financial strategy. You're going to have to be much more intentional about achieving your goals. And you may not realize this, but the generational ripple effect that will happen can change your family forever. And you have the ability to start that change today. In Proverbs 22:6, the Bible tells us to train our children, right? How can you train your children if you haven't trained yourself? Think about that. The overriding principle of infinite banking is that you must live on less than you make. If you do this and you start by saving money in a place that will grow consistently with little to no risk, that has tax advantages and is accessible, then you have the ability to weather any storm life throws at you and are prepared for any emergency or opportunity that presents itself to you. The biggest reason I love the infinite banking concept is because it is the only system that I know that will improve your quality of life and take care of your family on a guaranteed basis. And the only variable in the success equation is you and your ability to be disciplined and follow the system. No other strategy, including the buy term and invest the difference people of the world, are going to help you accomplish this. So these are the reasons that I believe infinite banking really follows these absolute truths that the Bible teaches us about being a good financial steward, living on less than we have, living on less than we earn, paying it forward, giving, by giving the next generation, a good footing to start from, by educating our children and teaching our children about this stuff. But the sad reality is most people I speak with don't even understand it themselves. And I'm a big believer that you have to become more if you want to live a bigger life. You have to become more to change the future for your family. And if you follow these principles in this, I know that you can get there, and there's no other financial system in the world that will help you implement these principles better than infinite banking. So anyway, I hope you found value in that. If you did, please hit that subscribe button, click the bell, that way you get notified every time I launch a new video. I know I'm probably going to get some controversial things from this video, but I hope I don't, because I genuinely, this isn't about, faith or religion or any of that. And I totally honor and respect everybody and their perspective. But I also, these are absolute truths that I look at. And it's one of the big things that inspires me to do what I do and to share this information and knowledge with people and to help people achieve the life that they want to live, right? Like that's what it all comes down to. So if you found value in that, if you resonate with the information that I'm talking about, you want to learn more about it, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell. And if you have any questions, any comments at all, please comment in the comment section below. I'll do my best to engage with every single one of them. And until next video, have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See ya.